All right there, able to protect, throw the football with timing and rhythm. Everything on full display for this offense to let this defense know they could be in for a long day.
They'll try to run it in on 1st and goal. They're able to get him down.
The real estate gets tight inside the 10-yard line. You love a play caller who has the ability to either run it or throw it. That puts so much pressure on that defensive coordinator to know how to line up. It's not just a one-dimensional attack he's dealing with.
The crowd really making some noise now, trying to help out this defense to get this stop near the goal line. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
Tell you what, for a tired defense that's been out on that field for a long time on this drive, what a stop there on 3rd and goal. It brings us to 4th and goal. And as a head coach on the offensive side, when you put together this kind of drive, you're this close inside the 3-yard line, you've got to come away here with a touchdown.
So here on 4th down, out comes the field goal team. You missed it. Field goal, no good. And with that miss, the score will stay right where it is.
It's a missed opportunity for some points here. The way they were moving the football, I thought maybe a touchdown, at the very least 3 points, but instead, he shanks it.
Fresh set of downs for the offense, 1st down. It's a run to the left. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
Brings up 2nd down.
They go backwards on 1st down, so it's 2nd and long from the 19. From the shotgun, he's probing the secondary. Gets the ball up as he's hit, but it's incomplete.
Well, it's pretty simple. The defensive line does a great job of getting after the quarterback and forcing him into that incompletion.
So a tricky situation here. 3rd and very long inside your own 20. How much of a risk do you take? You know this defense could be very aggressive at this moment. Catch made on the left side. Breaks into the clear. It's a sprint. At the 20. Inside the 10. No stopping him. Takes it all the way. Touchdown, Tennessee.
Chris, how dangerous is this offense? Well, of course, you know about the receivers, those vertical shots, but here's an example. You get the ball to the running back out in space, takes it all the way to the end zone for a touchdown.
And the PAT makes it 7-0 to open scoring. The kickoff team on the field now as they get set to send this one away. He's going to return it from near the goal line. And the coverage team pins him in and brings him down. So the Boilermakers offense heads back out onto the field. The last drive was a little demoralizing. They stalled and then missed a field goal. Fighting off the defender. Heads out of bounds as a short gain on the play. The Boilermakers will hustle to the line to crank the tempo. Toss play to the outside. They tackle him behind the line, a loss of 4. So let's see what they like here on 3rd and short from inside their own 20. Important to pick up this 1st down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll stop him just short of the marker. Good effort, but the defense holds. Now it's 4th down. Here's a gamble. Head coach keeping the offense on the field inside his own 30. And he's throwing for it on 4th down. Trying to create outside the pocket now. And it's broken up nicely. A defensive stop and a turnover on downs.
Chris, I like the call here going for it on 4th down, but the receiver has got to do a better job of knowing exactly where that 1st down marker is and run that route a yard or 2 beyond the sticks to be able to give yourself a chance to pick up the 1st down. Instead, the defense comes up with a stop and they get the ball back.
Well, they run it right into a blitz, and that linebacker was coming downhill, Kirk.
Man, what a time to call that blitz here by the defensive coordinator. And you're right, he shoots right through that A-gap. Really, the back had nowhere to go by the time he got the ball.
And the pressure gets home. It's a sack. The It's third down for the offense.
8 yards on the play. Third down coming up. That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Tennessee 7, Purdue 0.
On the double. Razor. Here we go.
Quarterback looking to connect with the receiver here. Pressure comes, and once again, no escape.
Well, this sack is on the quarterback, in my opinion. Anytime you call a screen, you've got to be aware that that pass rush is coming in. Bait them towards you and go over top. This time, he's unaware of how quickly they were going to come in.
And out comes the field goal unit. And they will trust the kicker here from 55 yards out. Let's see if he can get it there. That wasn't alert enough. Didn't get the play off. That'll cost him 5 yards. Quarterback didn't see the play clock. Took too much time. Didn't get the snap off. The Vols will line up to boot it away. Finally, the first punt of the game, hoping to pin them back deep. And on fourth down, the punter sends it away. And the return man decides to signal fair catch. Set up. It's a first down play. Single back takes the handoff. They pick up 4, so second down and 6 coming up. And the Boilermakers tussle to the line to run the hurry up. They'll run it to the left. That's a nice tackle there by the senior. Interesting play call here. Third and short inside their own 20. They'll want to get this drive going, or a punt could give the opponents excellent field position. They'll try to run for the first down. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there.
Well, the back just had nowhere to go. How about the defensive line? They eat up all the blocks up front, freeing those linebackers up to be able to make the play. Just a bad play all around for this offense.
They went for it and failed on fourth down earlier. Let's see if they fare better here. Fired into a tight window and picked off. He goes down quickly, but that's a takeaway for this defense. Important play.
Boy, great hands by the defender to take that ball away and pretty much steal it from the intended receiver. I don't know if I'd be targeting that defender very many more times.
He's got a first down and more. The tackle is made, but the offense is now set up for the first and goal from the 8. And the Volunteers will line up here on first down and goal. They flip it to him on the jet sweep. Stout defense there. It's a 3-yard loss on that run.
This is a great job of being prepared by this defense. Almost anticipating this play, they're in position to bring him down for a loss.
So off the loss, it's second and goal from the 11. Quarterback's got it on the option. He'll toss it to the back. And he's finally tackled at the 3. Defense getting pushed backwards. They've moved it to the 3. Now it's third and goal. They'll run the option. Now run it here. That's the running back with the ball. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2. The decision is not to go for it on 4th down. Here comes the field goal team. So it'll be a chip shot from the right hash mark. He knocks this one right through. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, Chris, it's a nice kick here to polish off that drive with at least 3 points up on the board.
So after the field goal, the kicker out there again to boot it away. Well, he thought about coming out, but instead takes a knee to bring the football to the 25-yard line. Here comes Purdue's offense back out on the field. Time is running out before halftime to cut into this now 2-possession lead. The pocket breaking down, and the sophomore making an impact play.
I talk a lot about defensive ends arguably being some of the best athletes on the field. Here's an example of a guy that's just too quick off the edge for the offensive line to be able to contain. He got in there in a heartbeat and came up with that sack.
So it's 2nd and long at the 20. Corner's back up now, playing a couple yards off the ball. Quarterback leaves the pocket on the move now. Scrambling around now, looking downfield. That's a big gain before he goes out of bounds. It'll move the sticks, more than enough for a 1st down. And the Boilermakers come to the line in the hurry-up. On 1st and 10, looking to throw. Makes the catch.
It's a small gain, but look who they threw the football to. The fullback. Nice to see him get his opportunities.
Timeout is called to duck strategy late in this close game with halftime approaching. Here's the 2nd down play. Here's the toss play. Runner heads outside. And that's a solid gain here. The defense able to bring him down. They get to the line in a hurry here for this 3rd down. Runner takes the toss and moves to his right. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1. And now the timeout is called by the defense. They've got some things to work out here. Head coach stays aggressive after failing on the last 2 4th down attempts. Here's the snap. Quarterback looking to throw. He'll try a pass here. He's got it. Enough for a 1st down. In a big game before he goes out of bounds, the offense keeps churning, gets a fresh set of downs. And the fullback gets in on the action with the carry. No shot to bring him down. Heads out of bounds after a solid gain, more than enough to pick up a 1st down.
Watching this guy run makes me think of a famous old coach once said, any player on my team, I want him to be agile, mobile, and definitely hostile.
About time this offense gets going. It's a 1st and 10. Looking to throw it from the red zone. Moves left out of the pocket. And the junior able to get home with the sack. They'll crank up the tempo here on 2nd down. The time is running out. And he'll set up to throw. Quarterback escapes the pocket. Incomplete. They cannot connect on the deep ball.
You know, I like the quarterback's patience here, and instead of trying to force the issue and squeeze the ball into coverage, he just decides to just basically throw it away and live for the next down.
Off an RPO, the quarterback looks to his right. And he's run out after a big gain. The offense will be set up for the first down and goal.
I don't blame the quarterback here. You get to third down with the catch radius that this tight end has, give it to him every single time. Now it's first and goal.
The Boilermakers looking to cap the drive here. It's first and goal. First and goal, handoff. Fights his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Purdue. Extra point try coming now. PAT up and good to get a little bit closer. So after the touchdown, here's the kickoff, and we'll see if the opposing offense has time to answer before halftime. Turn begins inside the 25-yard line. He'll be tackled at the 27. That's where the drive will start. And the Volunteers' powerful offense back out in the field. Last time out, they moved the ball well, but had to settle for a chip shot field goal. He's going to hand this off. Stop after a small gain. Now looking at 2nd and 9.
Cristiano, the spread era over the years has always grown offensively, but what I've been always impressed with defenses that really build their defense to play in space still have an ability to be sound at the line of scrimmage and defend a running game. It's exactly what we saw right there.
They make the tackle as time expires. That'll do it for the first half. And that will do it for the first half here. Kevin Connors now has our halftime update. And the Boilermakers will kick it off to begin the second half. This one will be fair caught. Volunteers' high-tempo offense is back out on the field. Important possession here to begin the third quarter as they try to continue momentum from the first half and build on this lead. That's a solid gain, moves the ball to the 29. The Volunteers will hustle to the line to run the hurry-up offense. Clear movement before the snap, and it'll be a false start. Pretty easy call for the head coach. He will accept that penalty, of course. What's the play call here on 2nd down for this offense? And the wideout goes in motion. Quarterback looking to throw it on 2nd down. He's moving out of the pocket. He's going to take off. Pass ball is incomplete, but there's a penalty marker. So let's check out that. You don't see that called too often, but you see it called here. Well, a serious challenge for this offense. You don't want to be in 3rd and long inside your own 20. How much of a risk will they take to try to pick up this first down? This one's going to fall incomplete. Brings up 4th down.
Well, this is exactly what the defense talked about at halftime, coming up with a stop to start this second half. Now they've done that on this 3rd down. We'll see what happens with the decision on 4th down, but the defense looks at a very different kind of energy to start the second half.
They'll kick it away here. Ball fielded near the 35. And the returner is brought down. So Purdue Tennessee offense trots back out on the field. This one has been a defensive stalemate. Let's see if the offense can get something going here. And the runner takes off to his right. The gain is 4, so it's 2nd and 6.
Hat on a hat up front. Good job opening up the holes. Anytime you can get positive yards on first down, that's a win.
The gain makes it 2nd and medium. Quarterback drops back from the shotgun. Trying to extend the play. It's caught. They will rule that a catch. A huge gain through the air.
The defense is spread all over the field, creating some one-on-one matchups, and the quarterback makes them pay for it.
And here comes the noise. This crowd is trying to inspire this defense to make a big red zone stop. And he's out of bounds after gaining decent yardage.
Well, you're inside the red zone, which means you can't come away with anything less than 3 points. But you know this offense is thinking about a touchdown. They're trying to get to that end zone. They go with the toss play. The big boys up front being mobile, moving around, and the running back trying to get behind him to find yards. That's exactly what he did there.
Third down play coming up. Quarterback drops back. We're going to test the secondary. Oh, nice play by the defender. Got a hand in there to break up the pass.
Hey, the good news is here, Chris, they're still in field goal range, and they didn't cost themselves any points. But they could have more. Got to be thinking about going for this on 4th and short.
And the kick is good. Offense settles for 3 on the drive. And the game is now tied. So after coming away with 3 in that drive, the kickoff team is out. Fielded just inside the 25. Brought down at the 29. That's where we'll start the drive. And Tennessee's high-powered offense is back out on the field. It's an option look. Oh, and he fumbles. Recovery by the defense, headed the other way. And he breaks loose down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Purdue. A fumble return for 6. That's a scoop and score. Defense making a monster play there.
Well, his eyes must have gotten so big when he saw that ball pop out, chance to pounce on it, and instead of doing it the more conservative way and just falling on it, he decides to take it to the house for a touchdown, something he'll remember for the rest of his career.
He'll return it from inside the 10-yard line. Not much on the return. They'll stop him at the 24. Good coverage. Tennessee's offense back out on the field now. And here's the handoff. That's a solid gain. Moves the ball to the 29. And the Vols come to the line to run the hurry-up. Quarterback wants to throw it on 2nd down. He's going to pull it down and run. Slides to avoid the big hit.
Chris, watch him work through his progressions here. Finds the first and the second option aren't there. By the third option, he's got to pull it down and try to pick up some positive yards, of which he did, and then he slides down to avoid the big hit.
Trying to create outside the pocket, but they've got him for a sack.
Well, that takes the wind right out of your sails. This offense is trying to find a way to get back into this game, and another pressure and a sack against their quarterback.
So this offense faces a 2nd and 15. The O-line needs to regroup. They're going to run it. Runs through the defender. And they bring him down. That's a very solid gain, but still well short of the marker.
A nice RPO here by the offensive coordinator and a big gain by the back. But let's give credit to the quarterback. He saw that this defense was sitting back, worried about the pass, so instead of throwing it, he hands it off and some nice positive yards.
Receiver makes the catch. Stopped at the 43. This offense picks up another first down. The Vols look to keep this drive moving. Looking to throw it on first down. Looking for his big tight end. The freshman shows inexperience. Lucky it didn't get intercepted.
Just a great play on the ball by the defensive back, getting a hand on it and tipping it up into the air. Boy, anytime you see a tip go up, often that defense is thinking interception. This one falls to the ground, but the next tip ball could be going the other way.
Now it's second down here. After the incompletion on first down, looking to throw it again. And the sack is made. That's a nice play there by the sophomore.
And just like that, you squeeze the life out of this offense. That's another sack by this defense. They have been in that backfield the entire game, and a big reason why these guys are enjoying a lead.
Drops back, looking to throw for it on third down. Heavy pressure, he lets it go. And he'll just throw it away now. Couldn't make anything happen, and that's now going to bring up fourth down. The Volunteers will line up to punt it away. And on fourth down, the punter sends it away. Good effort by the return man. They get him down, but that's a solid gain in return. Here comes Purdue's offense back out on the field. They love to stretch the lead here with a touchdown. Had to settle for 3 last time. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there. That was that excellent linebacker with a clear path just running downhill quickly.
You know, I think one of the great things about watching this guy play all year is his vision. He just has great instincts. That time the defensive line ate up all the linemen, freed up the linebacker to get into the backfield, and the result is a tackle for a loss for the backer.
They make the tackle, but he gains enough to make the first down in what should be the last play of the third quarter.
Purdue 17, Tennessee 10.
Back at it to start the quarter. Offense getting set to run a first down play. And now the handoff. They tackle him behind the line, a loss of 4. And the Boilermakers looking to run some tempo here. They'll try the right side on the toss. They make the tackle, but that's an excellent game. Moves the ball to the 33.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. You got to rely on that offensive line and the running game here to be able to secure a victory. Good call, and just keep working that clock.
The Boilermakers starting a new series here on 1st and 10. They'll try the right here. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there.
Chris, I think we all kind of get caught up in third down. What is an offense doing in third down? But I think what's also important is how well you defend first down. If you can hold your opponents to a short gain or a tackle for a loss, you throw the offense out of whack, and their game plan gets much more challenging to try to come up with that first down.
Coming up, 3rd and long. A pop pass on the jet sweep. He stopped short of the marker, so it's 4th down now.
Man, that jet sweep action puts so much pressure on a defense. You get so locked in on the ball attacking you downhill. But when offenses sprinkle this kind of offense in, it stretches this defense out wide and can create some vertical seams for big plays.
Finds his man, has the first down. He'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
Oh, the defense blows an opportunity. You get him to 4th down, a chance to get the ball back to your offense, and instead it's a first down, and now this one could be over.
Defense is coming after him. Escapes the pocket, but cannot make a play, and they sack him.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on the quarterback there. That was a strong safety sneaking in. I don't think the quarterback saw him, and eventually comes home with the sack.
The offense has done well to chew some clock here. Now they'll come up on 2nd down. Quarterback drops back, bringing pressure. Picked off, a crucial turnover. Big takeaway, now looking for a big return. Not just the pick, but a big return. Sets up the offense in good position.
That's just a poor decision by the offensive coordinator and the quarterback. Working with the lead, run the football here and work the clock instead. Throws it into coverage. Now they got a chance to get right back in the game.
They'll try and run it. Here's the running back. They'll stop him behind the line for a loss of 1.
Well, they keep trying to run the football, and they keep getting dominated at the line of scrimmage. That has been a theme throughout this entire game. We've talked about it earlier in the game. It's not changing at all. They've become one-dimensional. I think it's allowed this defense to really lock in on that quarterback.
3rd down here. Time for perhaps one more play before the 2-minute warning. And we've reached now the 2-minute warning. Sets up as a dramatic finish as this offense tries to grab the lead late here. Offense facing 3rd and short, approaching midfield. Can they convert here, or will they face a tough 4th down decision? Brought down to the 47, and that will move the sticks. The clock is still running. They got to get set quickly. Moving the receiver around pre-snap. They'll hand it off. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 2.
Chris, has just really been the story of the game. This defense has completely eliminated this offense's ability to run the football, made them one-dimensional, and that's why they haven't been able to put many points on the board.
2nd down, we're going to throw it. Quarterback moving out of the pocket, trying to create. The pass is incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, and here comes a late flag.
Right, playing defensive back has got to be the toughest job out there right now in college football. You get isolated on islands against these freaky, talented receivers. It's hard enough to be able to stay up with them and try to make a play on the ball, and often you end up bumping them downfield, and you get a call like this.
Nowhere to run. They'll corral him for no gain.
Well, the defense does a great job here of pressuring the quarterback, but I got to give the quarterback a lot of credit. Instead of taking a negative play, he shows you his athletic ability and fights out and gets all the way back to the line of scrimmage.
Here's some pre-snap movement in the backfield. Looking to pass here on 2nd down. Quarterback escapes the pocket and takes off. It's incomplete. He took a hit as he threw the football, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Now that's going to bring up a critical 3rd down here as we're late into this football game in a drive where they need points. This quarterback's got to take control of this huddle, make sure everybody's on the same page. You have multiple plays that you could go to, whether it's a run or a pass, but you've got to come up with a 1st down.
And he'll drop back here on 3rd down. Catch made on the left side. Heads out of bounds after running for the 1st down to keep this scoring threat alive. Serious pressure now for the defense. The ball's come to the line to start a fresh set of downs. Here comes a 1st down pass attempt. He's escaping the pocket now. And he just throws it away.
Man, I like this play. Not only is it the right play, throwing it away like that, but given that he had no other option, he just did what he's supposed to do to survive and get ready for this next down.
He's back to throw again on 2nd and 10. Can't get it away. The defense has got him. What a huge stop at this stage of the game. And the offense will wisely spend a timeout after the play. Clock management's going to be very important here in the final minutes. 9th play of the drive coming up. This is a tough 3rd and long. There's the snap. Quarterback setting up to throw. But they don't connect. It's incomplete, and it brings up 4th down.
Oh, Chris, the quarterback and receiver just not quite on the same page there on that 3rd down and long. But at this point in the game, you got to consider going for this. They need a touchdown.
They'll change the pre-snap look now. 4th down. He's throwing for it. Running out of time in the pocket. He did not get it. A crucial play by this defense. What a 4th down stop. So with the lead secure here, it's time to just take a knee, run out the clock, and plan the victory celebration. So the win streak continues for this team. Good job, Kirk, bouncing back. They're just getting stronger and stronger now.
You've seen their stock start to really rise, and these players seem to be buying in. Credit to the coaching staff for leading this streak and keeping this team together after that loss a few weeks back. You can tell this team is bought all the way in.
And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here. For Kirk Herbstreit, I'm Chris Fowler, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.